Alright guys, I'm going to make this video on how much ammo you should have on hand at all times. I know this whole how much ammo you should have on hand is familiar to some, but not very familiar to others. A lot of people probably a lot of gun owners probably a pretty good wake-up call the last few years on why it's a good idea to have at least a decent stockpile of ammo. I guess I'll just get right into it then. I guess there's a few main reasons to have stockpiles of ammo. First is probably just what a lot of people probably wish they would have for a few years ago, that you never really know when the availability is going to go down or the price. So there's definitely no guarantee, and it probably will happen again, where there's a shortage and a price hike of ammo, at least temporarily. So if you're stocked up, then you really have nothing to worry about in a situation like that. I guess second reason for having ammo would be just preparedness, or I guess maybe you don't really trust that the laws are going to stay how they are. I know the recent proposed ban on green tip ammo in the U.S. I think that was another bit of a wake-up call for people. That, I mean, when you think about it, in reality, if the government can justify banning 223 ammo, you could justify banning pretty well every kind of ammo out there. I could get into that in another. I will get into that in another video, but I guess those are the two main reasons. Basically, that's your. Yeah. I guess I'll just get right into it for how much I like to or want to have. I don't actually have. Actually, I have a 22 I have exceeded, but other than that, I don't have that much yet. I guess for 22, my goal is 10,000 rounds. I think it's a little more than what your average prepper, just general preparedness person would tell you to have. 223 or 7.62 by 39, 5,000 rounds. That's probably a little more than what your average person would tell you. The average person would probably tell you around 2,000 or 3,000 rounds. I currently don't have a handgun, but I do plan on getting a 9mm carbine, and I'll probably get a 9mm. So 9 or whatever your handgun / carbine gun, I'd say about 2,500 might be a little much. I'd say about 2,000. If you have it in just a handgun, probably like 1,000 would be good. If you have it in a carbine and a handgun for the same caliber, which is what I want to do someday, I'd say about 2,500 is good. 12 gauge, I got about 1,000. That's probably total between buckshot, birdshot, hunting, all this stuff. Bolt action rifle, about 500. Yeah, that's, for me, I want to have enough ammo that you could sustain for probably, at least a few years. Like, if all ammo is banned tomorrow, you'd want enough ammo you could survive at least a few years. Yeah, right there for my 223, I have 3 ammo cans. In between the three of them, there's a little over 3,000 rounds, so I'm pretty close to the 5,000 I want. Um, I guess with the whole ammo shortage and stuff, I think a lot of people blame it on just individuals buying high amounts of ammo, but I think there's definitely more that goes into it than that. Um, First off, I would say that although you heard of the people going out and buying thousands of rounds at a time, well, that also happened for um, like like the big retailers. Um, like for example, if a big retailer, obviously they're probably going to be panicking or whatever you want to call it just as much. They hear that there's a shortage of 22, they're going to do whatever they can to get as much 22 as they can, so they can get people to come buy from them. Well, what that does is make it so the other retailers don't have as much, which makes it so everybody doesn't have as much, and that trickles down to people too. That people hear that there isn't as much ammo, so what do? They go buy lots of ammo. Um, the other Another big thing I think that's caused, I don't know the shortage, but I think is causing the ammo in general to be a little more scarce is um, the more gun owners. Um, I know in Canada, I applied for my PAL about a year ago, and I actually had to wait about 3 months or so to get it. Which if you like, I talked to people that got theirs about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. They waited about 6 weeks or so, and I actually called. Well, I called. They emailed me once, and both times they said they were a lot more busy with applications than normal, which means there's a lot more people. There's a lot more gun owners in Canada than on average. Um, like I said, generally it takes about 6 weeks for them to do all the processing, but they were so busy obviously with applications, that it took them about 3 months, which means in reality there should be roughly double as many people on average trying to get their license to buy guns. And what that means is there's more gun owners, which means less ammo. I guess the other big thing is, if you look at interviews of all the big manufacturers, um, generally they said that they kept production steady throughout the whole thing, which generally means that um, there obviously is more people looking to buy ammo. There's more people looking to buy ammo in bulk. Um, the other thing too is, I guess, a lot of government agencies in the U.S. bought up large amounts of ammo, but mostly 223, 9mm, stuff like that. Um, yeah, those are a few other reasons that I think people, like just general people out there, get a little too much of a bad rap for the whole ammo shortage. I think there's a lot of more factors than just that guy who goes and buys 10,000 rounds of 22 in one day. Um, I guess the other thing too is, if you're gonna stock up on ammo, I definitely say don't. I know most people probably can't afford to, but if you can, um, don't do it all at once. Spread it out over like a few years. And if you do it like that too, it feels better in the end. And anyways, if you do it like that, and it seems funner too. Um, Even if you just buy 100 rounds a month more on top of whatever you shoot. you know, at the end of the year you'd have 1,200 rounds of ammo of any kind, or rather, and it's better than buying, you know, 1,000 round case, you know, at once. Um, yeah, that's the other thing too is why the why I think there's a bit of an ammo shortage slash price hike is I think the amount of people that understand that it's a good idea to have ammo stockpiled for various reasons has definitely gone up. If you look at like, I mean, you look at like YouTube and stuff, how the amount of people, you know, showing their ammo collections, and I mean, look at the average ammo collection of just like 5 years ago compared to now. Like most people have, you know, thousands of rounds of ammo, and that's, I mean, that's a good thing. You know, the more people that own guns, the more people that own large amounts of ammo, the better. Um, if that means a temporary shortage, I guess we're gonna have to live with that. It's already happened. It's already pretty well over. I definitely would say though, like, don't buy, you know, thousands of rounds of ammo at once. You know, definitely pace yourself, um, because, like I said, the more people that own guns, that own, you know, couple thousand rounds of 223 or stuff like that for their AR-15 or whatever you own in Canada or the U.S., you know, the better. And if there ever was, you know, just retardedly stupid gun laws brought in, the more people that have that stuff, the harder it would be to enforce and do. So, definitely don't. I would definitely strongly suggest not being one of those guys who sits back and complains and stuff about there not being any ammo and all that. But I mean, in all reality, now there is a decent amount of ammo available. It definitely isn't that hard to find anymore. Um, like, there definitely is some give and take. Like, the days of box of 500 rounds of 22 being $20 is probably over. I mean, like it or not. So if you gotta pay $30 or 35, it's just what you have to do. Um, yeah, I'll probably have more videos in the future about the whole ammo stockpile stuff, but that, I guess I might call that part one and make another one later on. I'll definitely do a ammo stockpile of all my ammo in the future, but anyways, I guess that's just how much ammo I like to have, and how much ammo I think that you should have. And all my ammo, like, I didn't buy, you know, massive amounts at once. I never bought more than 1,000 rounds at once. And I never bought more than 1,000 rounds, you know, every 3 or 4 months or so. And a lot of the stuff I bought too when before the whole ammo shortage price gouge too. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on the whole ammo stockpile in general, but anyways.